friends, welcome back. I'm traveling to Toronto to go see the National Ballet of Canada perform Onegin, and my train is in about 2.5 hours, so I have a few things left to do. I have to pack up my dinner for the train, I need to pack up the rest of my tech, I'm waiting for my dance stuff to dry so I can pack it in my bag. I'm going to take a few classes at InStudio, which is the National Ballet of Canada's kind of studio where they do a lot of classes and it's available to the public. So come along with me on this trip to Toronto. Welcome to Toronto, day one. I'm actually working from here today, so I'm going out to go grab a coffee right now and then work some today. Tonight I'm going to a ballet class at the National Ballet of Canada's InStudio. Some of their classes they do on Zoom, and I've actually done them before. I've really enjoyed them. This is actually my first class in a studio, full class, back since I tore my hamstring back in May. I'm both excited and a little bit nervous. I think there's always a bit of nerves going into a new environment. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. I really hope that there's a live pianist. I don't know if they have that or not, and sometimes it's a bit of a toss-up with like open classes or adult classes, but it's always such a treat. So I really hope that they have that. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a coffee now. Okay, there's something about changing scenery that is so refreshing. I feel so like energized to get my work done, being in a new setting. Even seeing I have this massive window in front of me with the city in front of me, which is so nice. I'm so excited to clear my inbox today. So I really hope I get to that endpoint because it'll be a really nice way to get into the weekend and then into next week. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I will see you at the end of the workday. Okay, so it's the end of the workday. I'm just about to go run out and get some dinner. I'm probably gonna grab like a salad or a burrito bowl, something like that, maybe a poke bowl. And it's about 2 hours before class. And I always find that for me, that's the window that I like to eat before a ballet class. So I'm gonna run out and get something. There's a grocery store just across the street. And then I will come back and have dinner. Then I'm going to have to do my hair. I think I'll keep it a really simple bun. Maybe I'll do some twists on the side or some braids if I'm feeling it. We'll see. And I'm gonna put on my dance wear. I don't know if I'm gonna go with my all black or my green outfit yet, but we'll see. I might try my green outfit and see how I feel, and then we'll go from there. So I thought while we still have a little bit of daylight left, because Canada, end of November, that I would put a little bit of makeup on before my ballet class tonight. So I grabbed my toiletry bag here, which I bought from Amazon, and I think it was about $30 or $35 Canadian, and it's a really good dupe for the one from the Daily Edited, and I really like it. In terms of ballet class, I mean, for the most part, I've been wearing less and less makeup, and I really didn't bring much with me. And for a ballet class, I don't really wear that much. I like having a little mascara on. Sometimes I do brows, sometimes I don't, and a little lipstick, and then I'll conceal kind of the extra red spots on my face. There's not really much to it. I'll be sweating in the class anyways. These are just things that make me feel a little bit more put together for the class, so that's why I like doing it. I won't wear, a full face of foundation. Again, I'm sweating in class. It doesn't really make sense to me. And it makes me feel like I have a lot on my face, especially when I'm working out. So I start off with a little bit of concealer. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. It's a bit of a mouthful, in vanilla. So all I do really is kind of cover up general red spots. I don't really do too precise of a job because, again, I know that it's going to sweat off a little bit, so I don't get too precise about it. I do always like covering up this side because I do have quite a lot of redness there. A little bit around the nose. Sometimes I don't even do that. A little bit more red on the chin. Again, sometimes I don't even do this. And then I do like putting some concealer under my eyes. Just makes me look a little bit more awake. And that's kind of it. I really just blend it out and I don't think too much about it. Is it perfect? No. Is it good enough? Yeah. I've actually already put on mascara, but I'll show you what my current combo is. So I use eyelash curlers. I won't bring that close to the camera because they definitely need a good clean. And the L'Oreal Voluminous Original Mascara. This is in Blackest Black. And actually, the only reason that I picked up this mascara is because I was kind of tired of spending $30 or $40 on mascara every, 4 months, 5 months, whatever it was. And this is one of the very few tubes in the pharmacy that isn't like fluorescent orange or hot pink or highlighter yellow. And I just wanted a mascara that was a neutral tone tube that was kind of calm. And turns out I like it actually quite a lot. Then I will do a little bit of eyebrow. So my current combo is the NYX eyebrow pencil. So nice and inexpensive. And it is in ash brown. I've had this for probably almost 3 years, which is not great. I must be coming to the end of it soon. Ooh, there you go. I'm at the end of it. So that's the last little bit there. It doesn't wind up anymore, which is great because it's actually so old that the back end of the tube has broken off. I had to buy a new one. It's nice and easy. So all I do is kind of fill in the top. On this particular brow, I have a couple sparse spots, so I fill that in too. And then I come down the tail a little bit. And this side, same thing. I do the top. I find that just kind of lining the top really defines my brow. So I like doing that. And then this one, I come down the side a little bit. I don't really ever touch in the middle of my two brows because I find it makes me look kind of angry. And then I just take my spoolie and brush. And it just kind of blends it all out. That's kind of it. I will probably put on some lipstick right before I leave. Nothing too over the top. Just kind of my lips but better lipstick, just because I find it adds a bit of color to my face. That's it. I was meant to talk about coming back to class after an injury while doing my makeup, but I completely forgot, so let's talk about that now. Tonight is the first class that I'm coming back to, the first full class in the studio since I tore my hamstring back in May. So for a little bit of background, in May, at the end of bar, I went into the splits and heard a nice loud clunk stomp as I came down to the ground, and I completely tore my hamstring. So I've been working on that since. I haven't been to a class since. I've been doing physio, I've been doing physio exercises, so working on my range, my strength, my stability, and I've done a couple of bars at home, but I haven't done a full class. So tonight is the first time that I go back, and I'm feeling kind of nervous. I think I'm nervous because I haven't been in a class for 6 or 7 months, so there's already just that time gap. I'm going into a new school, new teacher, new environment, so that always creates kind of new nerves and flutters. But I think the other side of that is also, I'm a little bit nervous to find out how injured I actually am. So far at this point, my injury doesn't really affect my day-to-day life. It doesn't hurt when I'm walking, it doesn't hurt if I run a little bit, it doesn't hurt if I'm sitting. Most of my day-to-day life is unaffected by this injury now, which is really good because it was affected in the beginning. But now as we come into a ballet class, and my goal really is to be back to coming to a full ballet class, we'll find out at what point I still am in pain or I don't have strength enough to continue that class. And I'm a little bit nervous to find out that I'm more injured than I think I am. And I know it's not completely logical, and I know it doesn't completely make sense. I guess I can kind of tell myself right now that I'm not that injured anymore. But if I do a full class and I have to stop, or I do a full class and I'm really in pain, then I'm more injured than I thought I was, and I'm a little nervous to find that out. I realize it's not completely logical because at the end of the day, we have to know how injured I am so that we can physio keep going. But we'll see. I really hope that there is a pianist in this class tonight. I don't know if the National Ballet of Canada InStudio have live pianists or not. I really hope they do because it's such a treat. It's such a wonderful thing to have during your class. And I know that if I'm coming in with all these nerves and if I have kind of that cloud of negativity while I'm doing class and I'm feeling hypercritical about myself or I'm feeling really nervous, a great pianist and great music really pulls you out of that, and it's a great reminder of why you're there, that it's fun, that it's to move your body and just enjoy the class. So I really hope that there's a live pianist there tonight. So I will take you along with me. I'm going to show you as much as I can. I want to be respectful of the other people there and the environment, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to show you, but I will take you along for as much as I can, and we'll check back in after the class. Okay, so I'm ready for class. I decided to go with the rolls on either side of my head. This side really did not cooperate today. I don't know why. It's just one of those days where one side works and the other one doesn't. My Uber's here in probably the next 10 minutes or so, so I'm gonna head downstairs now and go to class. I'm excited. These are some of the props from Nutcracker and Alice. You can see the Alice chair there. And amazingly, ROH. So the Royal Opera House. This is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So cool, because they share props. So there you go. This is the studio. This is the Broom Studio. Super big. We did have a live pianist. I'll come show you what I wore for class. So I did wear my green leotard and my pink tights on top, and then I have a mesh high-low skirt. I love this skirt. This is Ballet Rosa. And then I wore my shoes, but it's kind of embarrassing at this point. They have holes in them, so yeah. But I was able to make it through the whole class, so I'm really, really happy about that. I was really nervous. You can see I'm very, very red, but I was really nervous that I wouldn't be able to actually make it through the full class, and I was. So good first class back. I'm hoping to come back tomorrow morning. It depends how I feel. If I'm really, really sore, then I won't come back. But yeah, these are the studios. So, so beautiful. The class was with Eric Hall, and he was so much fun. He was so kind. He was so kind, and I was able to tell him beforehand, excuse me, and I was able to tell him beforehand that I was injured, so I felt really good about that coming into class. And yeah, we'll see how I feel in the morning. Maybe I'll come back. I just got back from class. I took the beginner level 2 with Eric Hall, and it was so much fun. I was saying earlier about how I was really nervous to come to class and nervous as to how it would go, given I hadn't done class in 6 to 7 months. It was my first class back with injury, but I think it was exactly the right class for me to come back to. We didn't do any big jumps, just Taleves were kind of the biggest jumps we did, which was perfect. So I didn't worry too much about my hamstring at all, and I didn't really feel it too much other than if we did arabesque or attitude, and otherwise that was kind of it. But it felt really good. I was very shaky. I was really off my center. I had a really hard time holding my turnout, which I think I kind of expect. Now I've come back after a few long breaks. Each time those seem to be the things that I lose right away. So I definitely expected that, but I had a great class. I feel completely energized and like jazzed right now, and it's 9:45 at night, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to kind of calm down and bring my energy down and go to bed. But this happens to me every time I take a class. I just feel so energized and ready to go and excited. We did have a live pianist who was fantastic. The class was with Eric Hall, and he was so kind. He gave some really good instructions, some instructions I hadn't heard before. So he talked a lot about bringing your fifth kind of in and a little bit closer to you in turns. And I've visually seen this before. It's not like a crazy brand new concept, but I've never actually put it into practice. And he also talked about having your arms in a little bit closer when you're going out to second, because it gives you kind of more room and more breadth to open up to second, which I found really interesting. He just had a completely different way of doing class, and this is one of the things that when you take classes with different teachers, you just get different exercises. People will always piece things together in a different way, and so it's always interesting to do someone else's class. One, to see how they piece it together, but two, also for your brain to pick up the exercise, to kind of see how it goes. And yeah, I ended up wearing my green leotard, which is one of my favorite outfits, and I'm really happy I did. I felt great in it, even though I was not feeling 100% putting it on before going to class, but it is one of my favorites. Yeah, I had a great class. I'm so energized right now, and I'm already thinking about going to class again tomorrow morning, but I know that I need to pump the brakes a little bit and take care of my hamstring and see how I feel in the morning. And you know, if it were up to me and my brain right now, I'd do class tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, but I don't know if I necessarily have the bandwidth for that and how I'm going to feel tomorrow in my body. So I think I'm going to see how I feel in the morning and then maybe book in for a class. It's later in the morning, so that should give me time to have a slow morning, grab some breakfast. I want to check out the Christmas market, so I have to see exactly where that is in the city, go do a ballet class, and then come back and get ready for the show. The class was also a really fun experience because there were a couple ladies in the class who one was going to see Onegin, one had just gone to see Emma Bovary, and so we were kind of chatting about the show. I had a really nice experience in the class, and it was really kind of these two ladies to talk to me about the studio and about the shows that they went to go see and give recommendations. So I just had a really great experience, and yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can find stuff to make a cup of tea, bring my energy levels down a little bit. I will take a shower, and then I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. So I'm off to the Distillery District this morning in Toronto. They have a Christmas market, so I'm gonna go take a browse, maybe pick up a couple Christmassy items, and yeah, I'll take you guys along with me. This is very nerve-wracking to do in public, but I'm gonna go off to the shoe room, the National Ballet of Canada shoe room. So I'm walking up to Jarvis Street now. I've never been. I'm actually really excited. And given I had holes in my shoes last night, I'm kind of hoping to just replace my shoes. And I want to see if maybe they'll be able to sneak me in for a point shoe fitting. So I don't think so. They haven't had any appointments until like December at this point, so they seem to be quite booked. I'll take you inside. So I'm in the National Ballet of Canada's shoe room, fitting room in one of the two. It's quite cute in here actually. It's a full-size room. You have some hooks and a chair to put your things on. And then a full-size mirror here. And a full-size mirror here. So you actually do have quite a bit of room. I picked out a surprising number of things. A lot of warm-ups. This is Ainsley Wear, which is a Canadian brand, and I really like the pattern, so I thought I would try that. And I love the style of leotard, the low back and the boat neck. So I feel like that's probably going to be a win. And then I'll put this one in the front so it's a little bit easier to see there. But this one is the Sunfish pattern designed by Alice.
I'll put up her Instagram and everything on the screen, but she makes these beautiful, beautiful prints, and the marketing has totally gotten me for the last few years, so I saw this and immediately had to pick it out. I really hope it fits. I think the pattern is really pretty. The neckline is great. The back is quite pretty. I'm not sure about this one. Okay, this is the Sunfish pattern designed by Alice. I really like this one. I'll show you the neckline again. Do I wear anything else? No. This is the kind of boat neckline. The color is really, really flattering, and I think it looks nice on. Again, I wish I picked up a pair of tights or something to show you lower down, but I'm feeling self-conscious. I would probably wear this with a white skirt, or maybe a blue skirt would look pretty nice too. So I'm thinking this one is a yes. And I'll show you the pattern a little bit closer. You can see it's like scales. It's not as thick as the Ainsley Wear one, which I find actually makes it a little bit more comfortable. It's still lined, so it still feels really comfortable to wear, but it doesn't feel as thick. So I think this one might be a win. Okay, these are the bullet point trash pants. They're in this, it kind of looks more gray on camera, but it's really this lilac color. And they're fun because they're reversible, so it's actually a bright purple on the inside. I am actually a little bit surprised that these fit. They're a size large, and I had in my mind for whatever reason that they just wouldn't fit. They're actually really, really, really comfortable. I'm just not sure about the color. So now that I know that they fit, this might be something I look out for in a different color, but I like them. They're really comfy. And I do like that they are two colors, because obviously you get kind of 2 for 1. These ones are also Showroom's own brand. They're in this kind of teal turquoisey color. I'm not sure if this really goes with much of my ballet wardrobe, so it might have to be a pass. So for those of you with a keen eye, you know that this is Drikita Dernina's collaboration with the Lithuanian brand Bosato. And when I saw it in store, I had to try it on. From here down, it looks okay. And then we get to my hips, and it's definitely too small. I actually love it in theory, and if it fit around the hips, I think it would be something that we could work with, but it definitely doesn't. And the thing I'll note here is this is an extra large. So I think it's a little bit more constrained to tinier hips and slimmer bodies than mine, which is kind of too bad. I like the idea of this whole trash bag suit. I think this would be really comfortable to dance in. I kind of like the look of it. It's a little bit space agey, but I kind of love it. This one's a no. So I have a few minutes before my Uber comes, but this is the shoe room, so you can see the sign there. Right next door is the Betty Oliphant Theatre. And then right down here is Canada's National Ballet School. So you can see the sign there through the trees. And this up here, this whole glass building is Canada's National Ballet School. Their studios are insanely beautiful. I so wish I could dance in those. They are stunning. Okay, I'm gonna record this while I have a minute of daylight left. So
what I bought from the shoe room. I did get a little bag. I didn't have anything to carry with me, so I had to buy a bag, but it's paper, so I don't feel as bad. So I bought my So Danza split sole soft shoes. They had them in stock in my size, which is great. You guys saw last night when I was taking class, there are holes in my shoes, so it's really about time I replace them. These are the shoes. This is probably my third time buying them. I like them. They do the job. They're not overly expensive. I think they're about $38 or $40 Canadian, and they do a great job. They fit the foot really well. Can't complain. And I did buy the designed by Alice Some Fish leotard. So Some Fish because you can see the fish scales here. And this is in the aqua color. It's coming across slightly more blue on camera, but there's a little bit of green in there as well. And this was so, so beautiful. I've had my eye on this for the longest time. I've followed the artist on Instagram for the longest time. And I hesitated because of the sizing. I feel like with dancewear, I'm never really sure where I sit. But when I saw this in store, I had to try it on. So I did pick it up. It fit. I really like it. It's beautiful. This is a size large, and I'm really happy to have picked it up. I will say it's not inexpensive. I think I paid about $180 Canadian, which is kind of comparable to Lucky Leo. So my Lucky Leo leotard, I picked out of their readily available leotards, so not custom made or anything. But by the time I convert it to Canadian, paid the shipping, paid the customs and everything, it came out to about $180 Canadian too. So kind of comparable. Buying dancewear in Canada is really not inexpensive. I haven't bought a leotard in probably a year. This was definitely a treat yourself moment, but it's very, very beautiful. And I did actually need an extra leotard anyways. I feel like I'm wearing the same 2-3 all the time, so it's nice to have something else in the circuit. I'm actually getting ready now to go to the show. So I am wearing this sweater with this big roll neck thing. I'm not getting that dressed up. I'm just kind of wearing black fitted trousers and this black roll neck. I have this beautiful green coat that I bought a while ago that I'm going to wear too. It's kind of become my theater going coat because it just works. If I wear an all black base and this coat, I always look great and I feel great, and I often get compliments on this coat, so it's just a great coat. I'll show you, hopefully if they're still light, I'll show you what it looks like. But I do that, and then I'll touch up my concealer. I might touch up my hair if I want to, smooth it a little bit more. So I'll wear that. I have a pair of heeled boots that I'll wear as well. I'll touch up my makeup a little bit just to add a little concealer and maybe recurl my eyelashes. And then I will probably put on a red lip. That's usually my easy how to dress things up thing. And you can see my lipstick is very, very tiny. There's really not much left of it. This is the NARS, I don't actually know the full name, to be honest. It's the NARS lip pencil, but it's a lipstick. It's like their thicker one in Cruella. And I have probably worn this for about 12 years now. I've worn this for the longest time. It's just the right red for me. It stays in place. I pretty much can put it on and not really have to think about it through the evening. So I might wear this, or I'll wear the lipstick I was wearing earlier today and just put on more of it and have it be a little bit deeper. But those are kind of my quick go-tos. So my theater going hack in terms of what to wear is all black base, a great coat, and a great lipstick, and you're dressed up. You're perfectly good, you'll fit in. wanted to show you really quickly what I'm wearing here. So just black trousers and a black roll neck, very comfortable, and this beautiful green coat that I wear to almost every show I go to. It's quite cold out. I'm on my way to the show. I just had a really lovely dinner. It's always so nice at the library bar. They really have great drinks, great food. I had a burger this time, which is kind of unusual for me. But yeah, it's about a 10-minute walk now, and I'll show you when I get there. I did actually forget to mention, the National Ballet of Canada sent me an email saying, hey, get ready for your show. And in there was a link which had all of the synopsis for every scene. So I actually spent dinner kind of going through the synopsis and taking a look at all the information available for the show. When I get there, I'm going to pre-order my drink. This is my biggest theater hack. They write it kind of obscurely on the website, and they'll probably have a few signs when we get there, but order your drink before intermission, and then at intermission, all you have to do is go to the bar and pick up your drink. It's fantastic. I don't know why more people don't do this. All you have to do at intermission is go grab your drink, and intermission is only about 20 minutes long. So it can be really short to stand in line and order your drink and then drink it. So it's fantastic. Total hack. Chardonnay, please, for the first intermission, and I'll pick it up here.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
5 minutes. Please make your way to your seats.
Thank you so much. I thought we would chat a little bit about the show from last night. I got in at about 11 p.m. so I was just exhausted and I went to bed, but we'll chat about it now. I had a great experience. I always do at the National Ballet of Canada. It's a really beautiful theater. It's very easily accessible. There's a lot of great food and restaurants around. So I ended up going to the library bar, which is about a 10-minute walk from the theater. Great food, great drink, highly recommend it. And I got there at about 7:15, 7:20. I pre-ordered my drink for the intermission, pro tip, and then went into the show. So I was sat in ring D. No, I was sat in ring 3 in row D, which is a little bit off to the side. I think my seating was actually really good. I was really happy with where I was sat. I was looking at the shape of the auditorium is like a U, and they have seats that go up the sides that are quite close to the stage, but then obviously you're on the sides. So I was kind of looking at them thinking that next time I come to see a show, I might try sitting on one of those sides because you can get quite close to the stage. Yes, you're off to the side, but you can get quite close in a way that you really can't in any other setup. So I'm kind of curious to try it just to see what the experience is like. In terms of the cast, I have it down here on my phone so I don't forget, because there's a few new names for me. I saw the Saturday evening show. So Onegin was Naoya Ebe, and it was a debut for him. It was his second show of his debut. He was really great. I'm almost a little bit surprised that this was a debut for him, because it feels like he's done this before. He feels like a really seasoned dancer. That was kind of fun to see. Lenski was Keaton Lear. He was phenomenal. I was so completely charmed by him. I was so absolutely believing that he was in love with Olga, kind of this really young, innocent love, and he died too soon. If you ask me, in this ballet, he died too soon. He's a very new name for me. I'm gonna have to look up online, see if he, posts publicly on Instagram, then I'll go ahead and follow him. But I really, really, really enjoyed watching him last night. And he was partnered with Emerson Dayton as Olga, and her too. I was completely just enamored watching her. There's something about her that reminds me a lot of Emma Hawes, in that very technically proficient, very innocent, very lighthearted, kind of just beautiful, youthful dancing. And I really, really loved watching her. I thought they were paired together perfectly. Her too, she was also a debut, and I didn't get the impression that this was the first time she was doing it. I think she really kind of did it with such confidence and such skill, really, and such attention, that I didn't quite believe that it was the first time she's done this. So I was very, very impressed with that pairing in those two, and I loved their pas de deux together. I loved them dancing together. I was watching them the whole time. Then Tatiana was Koto Ishihara, and it was also a debut for her. I feel like I went to go see the show where it was just debuts for everyone, but she was phenomenal too. I really feel like she came into her own in Act 3, so that's the ballroom scene with the bright red dress and the bedroom scene with the dark burgundy maroon kind of dress. She was beautiful, beautiful to watch. Really liquid grace, very elegant, very smooth in her movements. Really, really beautiful. I liked watching her too. And the nurse was Chelsea Meese. She had me giggling a good few times in that show, which is kind of funny because Onegin's not a funny ballet, right? It's quite a dark, tragic, emotional drama of a ballet, but she did have me giggling in my seat a couple times. Prince Gremen, who is a family friend and then ends up marrying Tatiana, was Ben Rudison. And actually, he's not a debut. I thought he was too, but he fits this role so well. He's super tall, and so he has just this very big presence on stage, and he looks very kind of regal and stately, so it fits the role perfectly. So I really thought the casting was well done. Yeah, so I had a great time. I'm happy with my seats. I would definitely recommend going to see this ballet. It's 3 acts, but it didn't feel long at all. It actually moved really well. I think the ballet moves with the story really well. I would definitely recommend it. Now, the National Ballet of Canada only has one more show, but I know that ABT is doing this in their Met season, I believe in June, and then I'll link it down below.
This was the last day of my trip, so I went to go do a little bit of shopping. I went to go take a look through Alo Yoga, and they have some really nice stuff, and they had some pretty good deals for Black Friday, but I didn't end up picking anything up. And then I went to Ripley's Aquarium. I've never actually been there before, but I had a great time. The displays are completely mesmerizing, and it was really cool to walk through.
I almost forgot. I wanted to talk about the research I did before Onegin. So I did a video, I'll put it up in the cards, whatever side it's on, where I did research because I didn't want to be lost during the show. So I wanted to be familiar with the storyline, with the characters, with how they related to one another. I wanted to be aware of any big or kind of known iconic moments in the ballet, and then be a little bit familiar with the music. So you can watch that video. I went through the whole process of doing that. Spoiler alert, I was not lost. I did say during that video that I wished in the cast list that you could see photos of the characters in each of the acts, because seeing the photos and then knowing what costume they're wearing is a really easy way to identify who's who on stage. And I still think that's true. Now, I also said in that video that I would just have to trust that the ballet and the story would make it really clear who Olga and Lenski were on stage, because when I was researching Olga and Lenski, it was hard to identify them specifically. That was very true. I mean, the story was clear as to who they were, but I also think that it was more clear for me because I did the research with the story, and I did the research with the costumes. I did the research, I looked up the pas de deux, so I knew that pas de deux was Lenski and Olga. So I think all of that really helped. I do wonder what it would have been like to go in completely blind, completely unresearched, and I think I would have been a little bit more lost in the story. I don't think I would have specifically identified certain characters, but I'm really happy that I did that research. There's something about watching these big pas de deux or these big variations, having a little bit of familiarity with the music, knowing what's going on, identifying the characters. It's almost like there's a bit of a 4-part framework. Maybe I should have a think about that. Knowing a little bit in each of these categories, you're just that much more engaged. I really noticed that during Olga and Lenski's pas de deux. I think it's in Act 1, where I had watched that pas de deux, and immediately when it started on stage, I was like, ooh, okay, I know this, I'm familiar with this, let's go. I'm so excited to watch this again. And so I feel like having a little bit of research beforehand gets you a little bit more engaged in the audience. I'm really happy with the research that I did, so I'm really curious if you let me know in the comments down below if you guys do research before you go see a show, and if you feel like it helps, or if you would rather go in blind and just get a fresh experience. I find this question so interesting. That's a wrap. I had a great weekend trip to Toronto to go see the National Ballet of Canada and go do a little bit of shopping, and I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. If you click on this video here, you can see all the research that I did before going to see Onegin, and if you click on this video here, I'll take you through my 4-part framework to develop your taste and appreciation for ballet. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!